Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mr. Hatman at your service with a launch newsletter special that is also sponsored by my product, 𝘂𝐶𝐸 Snap. And I want to introduce you to my friend, 𝘶𝗀𝗀𝗀. 𝘶𝗀𝗀𝗀 actually worked with me on building some of the early stage landing pages and capture pages for our predecessor products. And he's like a web wizard. And I love what you've created. So we're going to be talking about pixel alternatives. The biggest problem we face right now is that the pixel, as we know it, that marketers depend on, they depend on it for their shopping, for Shopify. It is going away because mobile phone devices are now blocking pixels, and they're also putting up pop-ups to say, do you want to be tracked? And who the heck is going to say yes to that? Nobody's going to say yes to that. So what 𝘶𝗀𝗀𝗀 has invented is an alternative that allows an ethical way of doing it using an API. It's a little bit technical, but what we're going to talk about is the story. Why is it that the world is changing, and how can we still keep doing business as we know it? The challenge that we have is that if ads are going to always be here, right? The problem is, like, friends of mine that run Shopify, they do north of $1 million in sales per month, and they have a very small profit margin, and they rely on abandoned cart. If someone goes to the checkout and they don't complete their purchase, they run another ad that reminds them to purchase in the future. The person might have been at the grocery store, the checkout stand. They may have been just looking at something else. They got distracted. If you don't have a pixel, then you will never be able to reach that person again. You'll never know that they actually left your website. So what can you do? Well, fortunately, there is something called the Conversions API. Now, you have a couple of options here. You can either hire a programmer, spend tens of thousands of dollars and build your own system, or you can use the pixel alternative that is launching this week. And we're going to be bringing that to you directly through pixelalternatives.com over the next month as we track this revolution that's happening in the world. So without any further ado, let me introduce you from India. You're actually in India. 𝘶𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hey, thanks a lot for having me on your live show. It's really I'm really glad to connect with you again on live.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this vision. You are also contributing a percentage of the sales of this product to people who are struggling in India. And I'm not going to tell you the name of the product. We're not going to talk about the product. We're going to talk about your story. You can, if you want information about any of the products we discuss, you can go to pixelalternatives.com, and there's a capture page. Just put in your information in there, and I will be emailing those over the next few days, okay? Because we're getting everything ready for that. But let's talk about your solution and why you're an authority for the solution. Like, you've been involved in web development for how long? Like many years.
I started working in the web marketing in 2011. So it's been like more than 10 years already. So I initially started with product creation, affiliate management, but my core competencies and my core interest was in like creating some products that can help marketers that haven't thought of already. So initially we started in funnel building, so the two funnel builders, posting or drive tools. But for last 3 years, we have started working in Facebook niche specifically. So initially we have released a multi-channel autoresponder that can communicate on Facebook, Instagram, email, SMS at the same time. Then we proceed further and we started on messenger platform. So where we can help the Shopify owners or e-com marketers for their e-com sales and boosting their profits with that. So the interest developed further. So after 1 year ago, when we came to know about the Facebook's server-side app API, which was initially named server-side API, and now it's called Conversion API. So the major reason we inclined towards that was because Facebook released a basic version of server-side API, which allows the users to track the things that a browser cannot. Let me put it like that. When you put a pixel on your website, it can track all the journey of a user. They can track how many times they have watched the video, how many items they have added to their cart, and a lot of information is blocked either by a browser or an ad blocker, or there have been certain reasons that blocks most of the activities of the website visitors on your website. So technically, you are losing a lot of your potential prospects that can buy your product, go into your funnel, and everything else. So we decided to start working on this fact. So initially, when we started working on server-side API, we developed a system for ourselves. And last year, we tested in on one of our internal campaigns, and the results were really great. We were getting 40% more audience than we used to have on our previous campaigns that were blocked by either browser or ad blocker or mobile phones or something. So then further, we got the news about the Apple's restrictions. They said like they'll be blocking all the conversion tracking or the app tracking across the browsers or the apps. So we thought they are going to kill the conversions and people who are really targeting on retargeting the audience, because there have been a rule of seven, as we all marketers know. Before you show an ad to a person less than 7 times, he's not going to buy that.
That's right.
So yeah, exactly. So you need to retarget them to get the maximum out of your ad campaigns. So if you are running an ad campaign, there are like less than 5% chances that the person will buy it for in the first time, until and unless you show it 7 times. So that was the major motivation behind developing this product. And when when Apple officially announced that we are going to implement this app blocking across our apps and systems, we thought it's a real time to build it as a SaaS, where people don't need to go through a lot of custom development. They need to own a lot of servers or tracking or everything else. They just need a simple code that can replace their Facebook pixel code and can do a lot more stuff with that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you know this, but it's actually 20. There was a book published in the 1800s that was called Advertising Secrets. I've done it in a number of webinars, and they said it takes 20 impressions of the same message before someone will buy the product. And that was in the 1800s. Now, it probably takes more than that today. So we need to retarget people. We absolutely need to retarget people. But the cookie and the pixel is not the way to do it anymore. However, when people visit our webpage, we can set up things that function almost the same way as a pixel. But what you're doing is you're coding the web pages so that it fires the same data as if there was a pixel there, but there's no pixel there. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So when you place a pixel on your website, that's a standard Facebook pixel. It tracks some events when someone clicks on your ads or go to your add to cart button or go to their cart or something. But those tracks, the way it tracks is limited. So you cannot go further. Like if someone has watched your video to the half, if someone has added 3 items to their cart but checked out only one, that is all possible with the Facebook conversion API. And that's a complicated case. In a simple scenario, you can when Apple is blocking all your traffic on iPhone, which are like 50% in the US alone, and when Apple is blocking it, you cannot track if they added to cart or purchased it, so you cannot retarget them if they have bought or not. So all your ad campaigns are going to be like playing Russian roulette. If they are working or not, you are showing the ad to people who already bought the product or not interested at all. So it's going to increase your ad spends already. It is going to lower down your conversions already, and it's going to lower down your profits at the end of the day. So
Exactly.
the solution is simply server-side API or the conversion API. But setting up was more complicated. So all you need to do with this latest app is simply replace your Facebook pixel with this one. So what our app does is simply tracks the browser interactions, tracks the server-side interactions, and match those. If a person is tracked with the browser or the server side, it deduplicates them. So you get 100% accurate data that is not possible with the Facebook pixel.
Yeah, well, how can we do this on a mass scale? Because not everybody has the ability to hire a whole team of programmers like you have. So you've created a simple solution, a SaaS solution that stands for Software as a Service. It's a very simple user interface. I watched the videos. You can, if you know how to set up a pixel, there's only 2 extra steps you need to take. It's just copy and paste and copy and paste. And you also have a white label version of this. Now, what you're doing right now is a launch, and this launch is happening for the next week or so. And we're going to be emailing everyone who signs up today some bonus training and some bonus information about retargeting, including my course, which I sell for $100, called Before a Click. Before a Click is this training that I created out of the need of realizing that there are 7 things you need to do on Facebook and social media before you ask people to leave and go opt in, or before you ask them to go to anywhere else other than the social media account that they're going. So it has to do with content you have to spin in a certain way. And we've always used pixels for that reason, because we want, you know, the pixel. Let me explain a few things that some people may not know. The pixel only fires when people leave the social media platform, right? So with this combined solution at Pixel Alternatives, you'll have the training from me as a bonus, which will show you exactly all the psychological things you need to do, the type of content you need to create, the type of videos you need to make. It's a 2+ hour training that I've now taught 3 or 4 times in our mastermind. And I think it's so important because people need to understand that before you ask them to leave, there's a lot of persuasion that you can do right inside of the social media platform. But see, then if you use Ankit's software and they don't buy, that's when you need to also know, okay, the person left Facebook, they left YouTube, they are now gone over to a website, but did they buy? Did they not buy? If they didn't buy, you need to retarget them with an ad, and you need to have that data inside of the ad manager. Otherwise, you'll be flying blind. Now, your system also works with Shopify. You gave me a link that you've tested with Shopify, so it will work with Shopify. So if you're running a Shopify store, you've got to get in on this launch and purchase the package. I think it's so cheap. I don't even want to mention the price, how cheap it is. I think you should be charging 10 times what you're charging for it. But you can get more information at Pixel Alternatives. We will be doing all of our marketing starting Saturday, tomorrow, okay, for the following week. And then we're going to be rolling out over the following few weeks to make it easy to be compliant. Now, here's the thing is, I love Apple. I just bought an Apple computer. I don't know if you know this, Ankit, but I've been a programmer for 41 years. Oh. I've been writing code for 41 years. I don't even know if you were born yet.
I'm just 27 years old.
I used to write 6502 assembly language for the Apple II computer. And I haven't bought an Apple. I actually made an announcement. I haven't bought an Apple device in 41 years. And I just bought my first Apple device. So I love Apple, and I love the movement that's happening. And I do agree that it has become crazy out there with the amount of retargeting, the amount of pixels that's going on there. It's not going to affect Amazon at all. It's not going to affect Google at all. It's not going to affect Facebook at all. It's going to affect the little guy, because the little guy doesn't have their internal tracking. It's just what's so, right? In my company, we have everything in-house. So we have internal tracking on our landing pages, our opt-in pages. Everything's in-house. We have one-click sign up, one-click login with Google account, with Apple iPhone, with all this kind of stuff. Most people don't have that. And so the people who will be missing out are the small realtors, right? That just launched a website that they want to maybe run an ad. If someone, imagine this, if you're looking at a property and someone is interested in that property, wouldn't it be nice to know, hey, someone found us on Facebook, they clicked through, looked at a property, and you want to run an ad back to all the people in a week's time that looked at that property. Okay, that's just one example. Let's say you're doing a product launch. You have people that are looking at the review that you made about the product launch. Wouldn't it be nice to send people an ad who people visited that information? That's what we're talking about here. That's what retargeting is. And so you can still retarget, but you have to do it the right way with these new rules of compliance that are coming out there. So your product on 𝗀𝗃 is so timely. I'm so happy that you're releasing it in the way that you are and that you're doing it right now. You've got my friend Todd Gross on the sales video. I mean, you've got everything right. I know this is going to be a huge launch.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be
there have been multiple reasons. There have been multiple reasons behind this. First of all, it's the starting when Apple started blocking. The next is they started on iOS devices. The next is Safari. The next is Android phones. Google is going to do that so soon. And after that, Chrome is going to do that on the name of privacy. And it's hard to believe, and I hate that fact, what Facebook and these enterprises are doing. The major reason, what of my best understanding is, Apple is doing this to empower their Apple Pay infrastructure. They want people to go through their Apple payment system so they can track their activity and keep up to them and keep the privacy safe. And all the big boys like Amazon or Flipkart in India and other players who have large money, large pockets, they can deal with Apple on that level. But the person, the realtor who is just starting out, he can't afford to do that. That's why we come into the game, and we really need to help those businesses who can't afford to spend a fortune on ads or trial and test and error or a higher development team. That's why we are doing this. And if people don't take action right now with this cookie tracking thing, they are going to lose a lot in the future, and the future is not so far. It will be implemented like within the next 3 to 4 months. And most of the people who will be unaware of this fact, the other alternatives who are providing this solution are not foolproof. Actually, let me tell you about that. There is some alternative with Zapier. So you can do the same thing with like 10 hours of setup with Zapier. And after that, when you start tracking, every person who visits your website, Zapier counts it as a zap. So if you have 10,000 person on your website on a day or a month, it's going to cost you like $200 a month. That is really massive, and that's going to burn a hole in your pocket. That's why we are keeping it for such a low price, and we are using an architecture that is stable, that is backed up. And the best part about the privacy, we are not storing the data at all. We are relaying the data to Facebook without keeping it to ourselves. We are not keeping your browser activity or anything at all. It's directly related to Facebook, so you can be assured about your privacy, your users, or your customers' data. That's all safe and all in your hands.
Yeah, and you can also use your own subdomain with the SaaS platform. And then we talked earlier today that probably about 2 or 3 weeks, we could talk about doing a hosted solution where if you really are enterprise level, then you could have a complete version of this that would be not requiring, in other words, you could use your own hosting. So everything is possible. And this is such an early stage. And I think it's really amazing that you've created this program. Let me just put the camera on you for a little bit, and maybe you could summarize for everyone here, what are main reasons why you think someone out there would want to jump on this right now?
Okay, sure. Okay, so the major reason why you need to implement server-side or conversion API on your website is, first of all, iOS devices. When 50% of the US people alone have iOS devices right now. So whenever there comes a pop-up like allow app to track your activity among the browser or something, only 4% of the people who are clicking on allow. So that means 94% of your visitors who visited your landing page, and you want to retarget them if they visited or they added to their cart or something, you are not going to do that. You cannot do that. Apple is blocking all your activity tracking and everything at all. So you are going to lose a lot of data. That will increase your ad spends, that will lower down your conversions and your profit eventually. So you need to add that for the first reason. Second is, there have been a lot of other platforms who are going to follow. You have seen that pattern. When Apple implements something on their platform or with the devices, other brands do follow that. You can see with the like removing the headphone jack from their phone. So other brands just follow that. So Google is going to do that. After that, there will be like Firefox and BlackBerry devices and other devices. They are going to block all the data too. So you have to be prepared with the system already in advance that your competition doesn't know even about. So when your site is prepared with the server side tracking, you can relay all the data to Facebook. And in the next update, we are going to add Google to and other platforms like Quora or Pinterest or something. So that are not dependent on the browser side, that they would be dependent on server. So you can have more accurate data, more precise data, and more attributes in the data, like that a browser pixel cannot do even. And another fact is like 10% of the people who are visiting your website have ad blockers installed on their website. So they do not allow Facebook to track you. But the server-side API is solution to that too. So they are not going to see any other ad except yours. So as a startup or as a moderate agency or established enterprise, you are going to have an advantage over your competition, having an edge over them. So you can track your activity, your users' activity, and get at least 6 to 10 times ROI on your ad spends. So that's a win-win situation for everyone. So don't let the big guys win over you. This is the time for every realtor who is just starting out or having a moderate level business or just want to sell more and get 8 to 10 times return on their ad spends. This is the product for you, and you must set it up.
Yeah, and you've tested this now with Shopify. Can you talk a little bit about the Shopify integration and that, like, if let's say someone, they say, you know, they have a Shopify store, like my friend Scott, he does north of $1 million a month in sales. If he doesn't implement something solution like this, then it's going to affect his profit margin, right? Because he has a lot of employees, they're shipping products all over the world. He has his own product line. If he doesn't have the ability to retarget because of a phone, he's going to lose money. He's still going to be spending money on ads, but the cost of the ad is going to be so prohibitive that he won't be making that 10 to 15% profit that that his business depends on. So this is a huge deal. It's not a small thing. I mean, this is like the biggest challenge. It's happening because, like, as you said, the big boys want to have everyone using their e-commerce platforms rather than the established platforms that already are in place. Like Shopify is in place. Builderall is in place. And we've tested it with both of these platforms and it works, okay? Your solution works in the Builderall platform, and we're going to be doing further tests throughout the week to make sure that everything's running perfectly. And speaking of Builderall, you just joined our Builderall promotion team, and we're going to be working on optimizing this solution that you've created for everyone inside of the Builderall community. So that's just an announcement I want to make because I'm really, really excited to bring this solution that everybody really needs this. Okay, everybody needs this. So
we have actually tested it with the Shopify. There have been a free extension that you can install on any Shopify store, and that will allow you to paste the code generated by our app into your Shopify store, and it has been working flawlessly. I just tested it, like when you pinged me on Skype, when we were talking. I just tested it with the builder all, and I could see the activity in real time. So it was flawlessly recording and capturing all the events on a builder all page. So it's completely you can completely integrate it with any platform, and specifically the product is basically more advantageous for people who are running Shopify store or WooCommerce store, or using great funnel builders like builderall. So it's a must have for them, because other solutions can go for multiple tools, or they can develop for their own, but the possibilities are different with when you're working with the content management platforms, which are flawless and where you don't have access to code. So if you have a Shopify store, a builderall like platform, or ClickFunnels like platform, this is something that you must have.
Absolutely. So let's see if we have any other questions here from the audience. So if you have a question, please put it in the chat. We're streaming live on Facebook. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Facebook channels and 1 YouTube channel. But it is Friday afternoon, and so most people will be watching the replay. So if you're watching the replay and you'd like more information, I'll put the information on how you can get access, early access to the software, and start using it below this video. Wherever you're watching this, we'll put the information in there, or you could just visit pixelalternatives.com and create a complimentary account inside of the Builderall platform. We're going to be emailing all of our people inside of the Builderall platform exactly access to this. So let me just paraphrase what this is. The problem is that phones, not Android yet, but the iPhone is now causing pop-ups to show up on people's browsers. If there's a pixel firing, it says, do you want to be tracked? Now, who in their right mind is going to say yes? Okay. Nobody, no one. So what's going to happen is you're going to be running an ad on Facebook, and it's just going to end up costing you more, because you can't do retargeting, right? You're also, if people visit your shopping cart and they start a checkout process, but they don't complete the checkout process, you're not going to know that they didn't complete the checkout process. So you can't run abandoned cart ads if someone has ad blocking on their phone, right?
I can show you a demo on right now. Like my phone, if you can see, my phone is showing when I open the app, it's saying ask app not to track or allow. I'm going to click on ask app not to track. And that's what 96% of the people are doing.
Right. And see, because of that, if they don't track the app, all that ends up happening is it ends up costing you more, because you now have to retarget your entire list rather than just the people who are interested. The foundation of my Facebook training, called Facebook Relevance, which I'm going to also give to people who buy this product during the launch, they're going to get the beginner training in Facebook Relevance for that as a bonus. It's all about understanding who is interested and who's not interested. And let's face it, if they're not interested, why should you spend the advertising dollars to send them an ad over and over and over again? Not only does it make you look like, I'll use the word schmuck, right? Nobody wants it. If they're not interested, then why would you spend money to send them an ad over and over and over and over and over again? But that's what people do. It's like a shotgun marketing, right? They keep, like, let's say email lists. Most of the people who are doing product launches now, they email 30,000 people. They email 40,000 people, and they keep emailing 30,000 people. What ends up happening is maybe 100 people are interested. But because you mailed to 29,900 people that weren't interested, you're going to get blocked from the email companies, and you won't be able to mail anymore. It's the same thing with advertising. If you oversaturate the market with your ads, you're going to be struggling in making a profit online. That's why so many beginners don't make money online because they don't understand this very, very simple concept. And I'll say it again. Only promote to people who love and like what you do. If they don't like and love what you do, or they're not ready for it, don't waste the money. Keep promoting to them, right?
Yes, definitely.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
So your product is so important for everybody to have, even if they don't understand it. Now, I saw that you have some upgrades that people get. Once they purchase the front end offer, what's the first thing that they see as an upsell?
Okay,
let's face it, everyone's going to have an upsell. I think there's probably 5 upsells. It's just the nature of the beast. If you go all the way to the end, reach out to me and I'm going to send you a very, very special gift, at least worth the amount of, all of my trainings start at $500, $1,000, or $2,000. I'm going to give you a training of your choice if you go all the way to the end of the funnel. But let's talk about what can people expect when they go there? And I don't want anyone to go, hey, I visited this website and all of a sudden I bought this thing for one time and now they're going to upsell me. They're going to upsell me. Get over it. Come on. We all know that's going to happen and it's okay. So tell us, what can people expect once they pick? I'm going to assume everyone purchases the first product. What is OTO1, the auto? What is the first upsell?
Okay, the first upsell is like removing the limits that we call an unlimited edition. So that allows you to track unlimited visitors, unlimited domains, unlimited page views, unlimited custom conversions, and that's the best thing. Apart from that, when you pick a front-end offer, you get a 5 sub-user accounts license. So if you are an agency and you want to sell that service to your local clients, for example, so you can provide them a separate login. They'll log in through your account and they can create and manage campaign, and you can be a super admin on their campaigns. That limit with the first OTO1, it pushed to 100 sub users. So when on the front end you are just creating 5 sub users, on the OTO1 you can create 100 sub users. And apart from that, you will be getting access to 3 millions of stock photos that you can search from a single keyword, and like more than 1 million stock videos that you are getting, 1 image editor, you are getting 100 Facebook ads that we have tested ourselves on, for like last 1 year with our ad campaigns with the cookieless server-side tracking. And apart from that, there have been some another bonuses that you are going in the first upgrade. So to be precise, first is it removes all the limit on your account regarding domain, page views, visits, the pixel ad setups, or the pixels you want to create, everything that's unlimited on the first upgrade. On the second upgrade, which is we call Link Master. So a lot of people among us don't have a website at all. They don't want to focus or drive traffic to a specific website. They just share link on CPA networks or on Facebook, or use influencer marketing on Instagram or something. So we have created a solution for them, so they can they can retarget their audience using just a link. Just put that link in our system. We will generate a new link for that, and whenever you share that link across our social media platforms or CPA networks or anywhere you want to share, you can retarget all these audience. There have been some multiple features with that. You can geo target all your audiences, you can device target them, you can show tiny little banners before they click, before they reach to the final destination of the URL. And there have been multiple other features in the tool we have been using for last 2 years, and there are like more than 10,000 people in our dashboard, and more than 1,000 people use it actively on daily basis. So that's really powerful app. In the last month, we processed over 5 million clicks with this platform, and people are really retargeting with that. That's really helpful. The next upgrade, which is called the white label, and that's a major one. So with the white label upgrade, white label one, the white label.
Oh, white label. White label. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So the white label upgrade.
Yeah. Yes. So with the white label upgrade, the person who purchases the white label will provide a dedicated panel to them, where they can set up their own brand name, their own logo. They can set up this on their custom domain, where they don't need to host the entire script or go through technical setup. They just need to create a CNAME record inside their DNS provider or their hosting provider, and they can run it with completely with their branding. They can even customize it with their own bonus links, their own training links, their own welcome video, and there have been a lot of functionality. Another panel in the white label section allows them to create, manage, edit, active, inactive, delete the users, and they can manage their all the clients right inside a single panel. So that's really, really powerful. So these are all the upgrades.
Is there also some training that you have? I saw something about training. You have a training program that comes in after that.
Yeah, so when a person who is getting all the upgrades, they need to maximize their potential and then need to get more ROI in their investment. So we have included a training where we'll start from the basic and the moderate level and to the expert level. From the basic, we will start them creating a campaign, setting up the server-side API, creating pixels, setting up audiences and other stuff. In the moderate level, we are going to teach how you should to create your campaigns, how you need to scale them, how you need to increase or decrease the budget, or you shouldn't do that. What are the common mistakes that people make when they are creating a Facebook ads? And in the expert level, we are going to show the exact strategies that we have been using in our campaigns. And we have been making like 100K revenue in a single month using these strategies. So we will be unveiling all the trainings, and there will be some live classes, group sessions in the training. So if you haven't started with the Facebook advertising yet, this is a golden opportunity for you. And along with you, Victor.
Yeah. Like well, that's the thing is, if they get your training, I'm going to match it with my training.
Yeah. So it will be a bundled offer. That would be like, yeah, okay, so you can't afford to lose this. And if you have been doing email marketing or CPA, I'm sure that you're going to shift all your marketing to Facebook ads with our training. And of course, you have Victor by your side all the time.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Speaking of email, is it possible for you to put this tracking that you've built, the pixel alternative, can we put that into an email message?
Yeah, actually, we have been testing with that. So we initially, how emails just track is using an image pixel. We removed that obstacle, and we have done with our product called Fresh Mails. So we are trying so that you can integrate Facebook. That will be released in less than a month. So we are going to implement a feature where users can track the user's activity inside their email, show Instagram feed, play live video inside email, and a lot of other stuff, like you play a YouTube video right inside your email, or play Instagram video inside, or enable like comment button right inside the email, or track inside the email. So everything is possible, and we are going to release that very soon.
Yeah, and that's great, because that's exactly what we want. See, the thing is, I love Facebook ads. Right? I just love Facebook ads. I love boosting Facebook ads. But what I want to do is boost it to people who are opening my emails. Right?
Yeah.
Like we have 50, 60,000 subscribers to the Launch newsletter. We've got 12,000 subscribers to some other newsletters that we have and other databases. Well, the thing is, people who are engaging, who are actually opening and clicking, we want to send them great stuff on Facebook through boosted posts, right? It's a mindset thing. When most people say free, I'm saying, you know what? You're shooting yourself in the foot going free, because when you go free, but pay attention. If you're watching this and if you just want one big takeaway from today's talk, as long as you're wanting to go 100% free with Facebook, any kind of social media, what you're doing is you're saying, I don't know any better, and I want the social media to decide who my message goes to, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
When you're doing tracking, when you are engaging with your audience, when you are retargeting, what you're doing to social media, you said, you know what? I'm not a beginner, right? I'm happy to pay you, but I want the people that I want my message to go to. I want the people that like my videos. I want them to see the message. I want them to see my webinar. I want them to see my videos. I don't want you to decide. I'm going to tell you, show it to these people. And how much does it cost? Great. I'll pay you. Thank you very much. And guess what? Everybody's happy. Facebook is happy. YouTube is happy. Everybody's happy because it's a fair exchange, right? And what your tool allows people to do is to now do that with the new layers of compliance that otherwise would make it impossible. Yeah, that's my summary of your tool. I think most people don't understand how powerful your tool is.
Yeah, actually, they'll start realizing, like the major platforms are started integrating into their platform, but that's not flawless, and they have been losing a lot of money on the table already when it started.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're losing it from the little guys, but the big guys, you know, let's face it, the big advertising platforms they only give a tiny small percentage of their ad inventory to small websites and small accounts, right? The majority of the ad revenue goes to the big e-commerce platforms. You know, even huge companies like Amazon pay Google and Facebook for ads. I know that. I used to be friends with the global ad manager for Amazon. Yeah. And, you know, he was saying about how many millions a month they spend on Google ads. And, you know, he was telling me the story. It's like, I said, you really have employees that go through and try to come up with every possible keyword, every possible word, every possible combination of every possible shoe, every color of every shoe, and run ads. You're always in the top of Google on everything. I said, yeah, that's what we do. How much does that cost? It's more than you want to know. It's an enormous amount of money.
Yeah, they are going to even target for the typos, actually. So if you wrongly type a keyword, they are going to target for that because they have big pockets.
Yeah. So someone else just came on live. So if you have a question, we're about to end the broadcast. It's Friday. It's like middle of the night there. I wanted to ask you about this giving that you're doing. You're taking proceeds from this launch, and you are giving it to your community. Could you talk a little bit about that? So people are not just buying a product, they're serving people in India that are struggling.
Yeah, actually, it has been a massive COVID situation in India, and there have been a lockdown again. So most of the businesses are just shut down, and we are running a charity. Let's not call it a charity. We are doing a help organization, which is going to help other people who cannot get food or shelter in this tough time. So we are keeping a share of this launch for the people who are affected during this COVID situation. So a share goes to that, and we make sure that we provide the best facility to them as possible as we can. And I hope we can help some people who are needy.
Beautiful. Okay. Do you have anything else that you would like to say, or any questions you have for me?
Yeah, that's all. We can always chat about that. If someone has some question from the live or something, we can definitely go ahead with that.
Okay, let me see. I have some people messaging me on Skype right now.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a question. They says, I got to get my program set up and I have a landing page. I just need to get this ready and I got to get it done by this weekend. So if someone has to get something ready and out there, how soon do you think that your system will be stable where people could actually start to use it? Because I always tell people when something is launching, don't expect it to work. And buy it now. Because what ends up happening is during launch week, it's crazy. I've launched several products before. You've launched products before. it's crazy because everybody is basically running in and trying things, and things break and things collapse. But this is different because you've been testing this system in-house for months. So I think the question is about reliability. Have you been testing and using this system for some time, or is it you're just launching it to the public right now? But maybe you could talk a little bit about that to ease the question that just came in, because there's this thing ready for this weekend.
Yeah, actually, initially when we started it, so initially it was for the people, for our internal purpose. So we coded everything. There was no interface or something that we needed to build for ourselves, because there have been a lot of there have been a big team for developers who are doing that for us. So like 3 months ago, when we started it developing for the people and started getting people for as a beta testers, and they started using it already, the entire architecture is on Google Cloud. So there is literally zero downtime there. All the data is backed up. Everything is running smoothly right now. And we have at least 100 advertisers who are using this after we initially opened the card for the beta users, and we opened the card. So over 100 people are using this actively on their website. The system is pretty much stable, and we have been getting some great results and some happy testimonials from our customers that you can see, that I can show you on that page too. So the system is stable enough, and we can further talk about it. So how soon we can deliver it to people on a next and higher level.
And how many pixel alternatives have been fired already with the system, and that you've successfully been able to show are going into Facebook?
Like the numbers are crazy. Like when we integrated with our previous system, which was a link one, that is upgrade of this part. So we are close, like in the last 3 months, we are close to 500,000. The number of events we have processed.
Okay.
We are close to 500,000.
Are you able to show us the events manager real quick in the last few minutes we have? Can you show that rather than the product? Show some of the pixels firing?
Yeah, actually the data is from my partner that I can show, but I can show you like how the pixel event works on a Builderall pixel. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let me log into my Builderall account. I really created a page real quick and just added. Okay. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. So I'm inside the Cheetah Builder, and this have been. So for example, when I go to the settings of a page that I created in this, there have been some section script settings. Wait, 1 sec. I entered in the wrong page. This was the page, and
that's a nice looking page.
Yeah, there have been settings, and here in the script setting. Okay, that's one. Okay, here from the app, let me paste the code. I think, okay, I have it handy. Save. And
so what he's showing here is the alternative code. You just stick that in the header of your Builderall website, and then it runs the pixel alternative.
Yes. So here, this is my page that I created here in Cheetah Builder of Builderall, and here you can here I can, when I go to my Facebook pixel account, let me go to 1 sec. Where is event manager? This was the pixel that I have been using, and here in the test event you can see there have been the pixel was fired from this URL, which is exactly the same URL. And it
Right,
has
so it's
been a
working
server
without a
side.
pixel, but it's actually functioning as if there was a pixel, and it's completely
Yeah.
transparent behind the scenes, and you can still use your ad manager.
Yeah, and the data comes in real time, so you don't need to check the refreshes and everything. The data is right in front of you, and you can be assured that everything is nice and working.
That's great. That's great.
So we have been testing it with multiple platforms and want to make sure that it works with every single platform, and people don't need to go with a technical setup or just lose their conversions. Just a simple code like that I showed you in the demo. They just need to paste it on their site, and that's all. That's everything. No other setup required.
So is there some other, like, for example, here's a question I have for you. The data that in the dashboard, is it only for Facebook, or does this also work with other social platforms other than Facebook?
Yeah, the one I showed you is for Facebook right now. We are opening that is for upgrades and other after the testing for Google and other stuff. Google is already also providing server-side conversions, and that's pretty much similar to Facebook's. So we are just testing it with multiple page builders. So just to make sure that it doesn't conflict with anything, just conflict with each other if we are targeting on two platforms. So we have been testing it on there, and this should be coming out shortly. But right now it's on Facebook only, because that's a major reason that is blocked by Apple.
Yeah, that it's understandable. I think Apple is willing to take on Facebook, but they're not quite ready to take on Google.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a very, very enlightening moment, and I'm so impressed with how quickly you were able to release this and launch this and test this on Builderall and other platforms and Shopify. I mean, I'm really excited to work with you on this launch and see how many people we can serve with your product. It's wonderful. So I'm going to put information on how you can access this below in the video, but you can also head on over to pixelalternatives.com and just create a complimentary account, and I will reach out to you with a link where you can access the early stage of the Pixel Alternative software. All right. Excellent, Ankit.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on your live.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for the people who are watching this. Yeah, definitely.
Let's do this again sometime, because we teach about Builderall every Tuesday. So maybe can you come back on Tuesday around the same time?
Okay, so it's a Saturday.
1 hour earlier.
Definitely we can. Yeah, 1 hour earlier. That would be better for me. Because
yeah, 1
it's
hour
like
earlier. Yeah,
3 in the night here. Yes, definitely.
Because you're kind of an expert builder and developer. I mean, you built that landing page in like 5 minutes. So it'd be amazing to have you share with, we can have more people show up next Tuesday. Because, it's Friday. People are moving into the weekend here in the US. So,
yeah, I can understand.
All right. So thank you again, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.
Thanks. Bye-bye.